and the other side on that. You don't have to be religious to be against abortion. I kind of get that. I'm not with you on that, but I understand. I do. You ever see a sonogram? I get it. There's a little creature in there, and we're kind of reaching in and killing it. I see that. I'm just not against it. No, I'm for abortion up until the 3rd trimester of high school. So I am very radical on that, but that's just me. But when they take it to stem cells, you know, that to me is just going way too far on the other side of the equation. Stem cells are not even cells. Being against stem cell research is very close to declaring that life begins when you're just thinking about fucking somebody. And it's a good example of how religion does infect policy, because if you remember, in 2001, in August, George Bush, when he should have been thinking about bin Laden during that month, he had that big decision to make about stem cells. Remember that? So he went away to the ranch to think for like a month. Oh, the red states were very impressed. That George Bush, he's down there thinking. He's a thinker. But yeah, he went down to the ranch to think about stem cells, and then he emerges like a month later with this King Solomon-like decision where he has split the difference that the media hails as so wise, as if it is wise to split the difference between people who really could be helped and your right-wing nutbase who would rather see research go undone, all because some microscopic goo on a subatomic level might, what, one day grow up to be a Republican? I don't know. I don't get. But you know, we're talking about a president who doesn't believe in evolution. Again, I'm not making this up. I'm not mocking him. I'm reporting. This guy says the jury's out. Jury's out. Don't know. It's a theory. He says, well, that's a theory and creationism. Got two good theories. And I know people are saying, Bill, you're so mean, ridiculing religion. I am not ridiculing religion. It ridicules itself, okay? I'm not the one being hostile. I'll tell you what I think is hostile. What I think is hostile when so many people preface everything they say, as so many do nowadays, with, well, I'm a Christian. You know how people do that? You want fries with that? Well, I'm a Christian. You know, as if they have the moral high ground. Please, I'm a Christian, so I've got the high ground here. You know, they think that's what I'm hearing. They think I'm hearing I'm a better person. But really what I'm hearing is you have a neurological disorder. And same as when they say Jesus is always with me. I'm hearing, okay, that's called having an imaginary friend. Which is okay when you're a child. When you're a child, it's okay to believe in myths and fairy tales to settle unsettling questions in your mind. But when you get older, you have to kind of look at it again. Yes, it's not your fault. I'm not being hostile. I'm trying to find a way to understand how otherwise bright people can believe in stuff that is nonsensical and spiritually unnecessary. And the reason is because they did it to you when you were a kid. I also was raised Catholic. People, adults, they put stupid shit in kids' heads, and they drilled it right into my head. But when I got older, I had it drilled out, and you can do the same thing with Catholicism. I personally have been studying Kabbalah in Us magazine, which apparently is where they keep all the lore of that religion. These are troubled times. We have to think our way out. We can't faith our way out. It's not a coincidence that so much of Bush's base are faith people, because Bush works in mysterious ways. It helps to have faith. It really does. But religion, it stops people from thinking because they think all the answers are in that one book. It impedes progress. It justifies crazy people. Flying planes into a building was a faith-based initiative. Matters of otherwise common sense become points of debate, like gay marriage. Would we even be having this discussion about whether gay people can marry except for religion? Of course the Catholic Church doesn't want gay men to marry. Half the priesthood would walk out the door the first day and marry the UPS driver. It's because it says in the Bible, no queers. That's where the whole thing comes from, the Bible. The same book that says slavery is okay and that you can stone someone to death for working on Sunday. That book, the one with the snake and the poison apple and the virgin birth, and people lived in a whale and people lived to 900 years old. That infallible work of genius that the president believes literally. But who consenting adults choose to pair off with, shouldn't that be a matter that the state is not involved with at all? And also, didn't we already go through this in America with race? And of course, what's so sad about it is that in this country, we really don't even have any party to represent us on this issue. The Democratic Party doesn't represent my views on this issue. The Democratic Party believes in civil unions. Why? Because they read the polls. And the polls say that Americans think that gay marriage threatens their marriage. Why? We don't know that yet. Maybe because it looks more fun. Or they hide behind some bullshit like, let's let the states decide. Why? What sort of nonsense is that? Either it's wrong or it's right. You mean it's okay in Delaware? In Maryland it's an abomination, but in Delaware you can suck cock in the street. That makes a lot of sense. So they don't represent my view, and neither do the Republicans, of course, because their base believes it's an abomination. They actually believe that gay marriage will lead to more homosexuality. Because a lot of guys, we're just looking for a little legal cover. Yeah, there'd be all sorts of man-on-man giant blowjobs breaking out in sports bars, except for the law. It's the law that's holding us back. So in the interest of taking this issue off the table, I have suggested in the past a few compromises, because, you know, this country was built on compromises, really stupid compromises. For example, in the Constitution, black people are 3/5 of a person. Wow, that's really a stupid compromise. So how about this? If you're gay already, okay, but no new gays. Huh? Or, since half the people want it and half the people don't, how about we just let the lesbians marry? Marriage is kind of a chick thing anyway. I mean, come on. Men don't want to do it. Straight, gay, they don't, you know. This is something cooked up by women in the Catholic Church to stamp out oral sex. You know, plus, you know, when the right wing talks about it's an abomination, they're not talking about the chicks. You know, man sex, that's an abomination. But, you know, when Britney Spears and Madonna are doing it, that's fine. Or when the Coors twins are slithering up against each other, or Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly are getting it on in that movie, or anything else on the third shelf of my library. But that's cool. It's the man sex. That's disgusting. Here's someplace I agree with the right wing, because I am also completely revolted by the thought of hairy man-ass sex. But again, the difference is I don't ask that my opinion be made into the law. Okay? And I have to tell you, I think I relate to this issue so much because of marijuana. because I am a pot smoker. I know I hide it well.